Howdy folks, it's Turtle here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are 15% done with the California Dreams bush trip. It's been about a month and a half since I've flown. You've been watching pre-recorded material, and then I had my vacation and now we're back. We did not go to Mexico. We moved that to later in the year when it's not so hot. I saw my broken toe. My broken toe is taking extra long to heal because I keep doing things. So let's see if I can regroup and see where we're at. So we're on leg 3. It looks like we're going to do leg 3, 4, and 5 during this video. You might hear noise in the background. It is a weekend day and my kids are around and laundry's going and I have my door open because it's too cold in my office. So ignore the background noise and let's get going. Leg 3, here we go. Alright, come down here, repair and refuel. Let's zoom this map out a little bit here. Alright, and let's get this turned off because it drives me crazy. Wind is on. We'll get the timer ready to go. Might as well set up autopilot while we're down here. I don't remember what we were at in the previous lake. It was like a month ago. Are there anything about altitudes here? No. Okay, we're already at 2,000 feet though, so let's go 5,000 or so. Just, I don't know, I have a feeling we're gonna have to go higher, but let's start at 5,000. So we'll turn on flight director and what do we do? Heading bug. How long has it been, turtle? Heading bug, vertical speed. I don't know, 1,100 feet per minute or so. Alrighty, cool. I don't think there's anything else I need to turn on in this one. Let's see where they dumped us. Alright, oh, my toe hurts. Oh yeah, that's right, we're in the desert. The high desert. Now I remember what's going on. I think there's plenty of runway. We don't need to back taxi or anything. Make sure one set of flaps are down. Let's read about where we're going. Let's not make this any longer than it needs to be. 0 Oscar 2. Troy Lake. After lifting into the desert sky, fly east over Troy Lake, which is occasionally inundated by water after heavy rains, but is typically dry. And then we'll do that, and then we'll switch to 69 degrees after 3.5 minutes. Let's just do this like step by step here. 80 degrees for 3.5 minutes. Come down here. 80 degrees. If we actually push the heading bug, it'll be way faster. There we go. Is heading, do I normally use heading over here? I don't think I normally do I? Or do I? No, I use heading here normally. Okay. 80 degrees, 3.5 minutes. There you go. That's simple. Let's get going. Parking brake on or off? What is it? Now it's on. Okay. Alright, I gotta crank up my volume so I can hear it. Not wearing headphones. I have this very severe headache today, and the headphones only make it worse. So let's try to taxi with a broken toe. Not going too well here, but better than the previous leg if I recall. Let's jump up. Brakes to stop the wheels. Gears fixed. Flaps coming in. Unless a gear coming in. That's not true. Basically, we're just going to head straight out. So let's start the timer right now. What's the timer button right there? 3.5 minutes. We'll hand fly out of here for just a brief moment. Only difference with hand flying versus engaging autopilot right away is we can't look around quite as easily when we hand fly, because if we use the drone, we can't control the plane because my drone controls are my yoke and pedals, and we lose control of the aircraft. We can use the circle view, but then the HUD gets in the way because you cannot turn off the HUD in a bush trip. All the settings are locked. You can't change anything. You can turn the HUD off in free flight, which we normally do, but let's ignore the HUD. Look at the highway. Looking good. Let's put that back where it belongs. Oh, we were in the right heading. Okay, good. Alright, so 3.5 minutes of this, looking for a lake. Do you think 5,000 is going to be high enough? We'll have to see. We'll have to see once we get closer to other terrain. Let's engage autopilot now. There we go. And I'm going to turn you to some sightseeing, so let's look for a dried up lake. And I'll see you in a couple minutes here for the next POI. See you in a bit. Oh, right, it is time already. I was kind of so busy looking around, I missed the time, but I didn't really see a dried up lake, so maybe it's not wet enough right now. Let's come down here, reset the timer right away because we're over time. Now I'll read about the next thing, which is 69 degrees, and then we'll read about it once we get set up here, since I kind of blew it. Are we going to clear this train? I think we will, but let's not chance it. Let's increase altitude another 1500, which would be 6,500 vertical speed. The only thing which they would change about these bush trips is give you altitudes, like, you know, heading blah 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 blah, you'll need to be at 18,000 feet type thing, you know what I mean? I know it's VFR, but in real life you would have altitude, like you would have the mountain symbol on your VFR chart with an altitude, you know what I mean? So that's kind of missing because it's not on this VFR map. You know, there are no altitudes there, but a VFR chart in real life would have that. So I wish they had some altitudes, not for everything, but just, you know, for terrain and especially airport elevation. That would be nice. Okay, anyway, we're heading over this hill into the Mojave National Preserve, 6 minutes out. Continue east over the Low Candy Mountains, which must be that, to the desert wonderland protected by the Mojave National Preserve, which protects the Kelso Dunes and a number of jagged mountain ranges. And then we'll head to the north just after that. So, good scenery. Considering it's the desert, it looks gorgeous. Of course, why wouldn't the desert look gorgeous? But when we did the Nevada Gold Rush trip, the scenery was to be desired, but this is much better, even though we're actually pretty much in the same area. Anywho, enough jibber jabber from me. We're going to go for another 4.5 minutes or so over the Candy Mountains, Candy Cane or Candyland, Low Candy it's called. And I'm going to check on some children IRL, and I'll see you in just a moment. Alright, time is almost up, so let's prepare this time. In a moment, we're going to turn to the north. In fact, we can probably turn now. I'm assuming we're ahead of schedule, given our speed and our altitude, and we're over the jagged mountains. So let's head now to 2 degrees, which is basically north. And, whoop, stutter in the sim there. There is 2 degrees, just like that. Look out the window while we can. Holy cow, don't get dizzy. We'll read about what's happening as soon as we level out here. Just enjoying the windswept dunes of the high desert. That's why you see those lines in the terrain. It's just windswept. Look at that. Alrighty, what are we doing? For 5 minutes, we're going to head towards Soda Lake, with the Kelso Dunes clearly sighted. We just talked about that. Turn into a north-northeast heading, flying over a broad desert plain called a Bajada to Soda Lake, a large, white, dry lake bed that lies at the terminus of the Mojave River. The tiny community of Zizix, I used to know how to say that. It's, I've seen this before. Zizix, Zuzi or something. Zuzi, built around a natural spring, lies on the western periphery of the lake bed. We're going to look for a little town, which we might be able to spot, and a spring, which we probably won't spot, but we'll do our best, and that is 5 minutes out. And then we're going to turn a little bit beyond north, so north-northwest to Baker Airport, which is 0 Oscar 2, which probably won't show up unless we're zoomed way in like this, which is beyond where we're going right now. So let's go like that, like this. 4 more minutes, and then we'll turn to 347 and look for the airport. Alrighty, see you in a moment. Alrighty, it's about time, and there's our airport. So are we really going to turn 345 to get there? If we went 345, we'd be going way over here, this direction. So we're just going to continue our direction. Let's stop this thing. We don't need to look at that. And we will try to locate this airport. Okay. Come on, there we go. What does our reference image say? A tiny little paved strip we have to look for. Over here perhaps, right there, I think. So let's take off autopilot and start coming down. Just because we're going to want to. And let's head this direction, stay safe within the parameters of the airplane so we don't crash after we do the leg. And I'm guessing our airport is like over here somewhere in this little tiny town, which they were talking about. Okay, that might be a little aggressive for a descent on this thing. Look at the cars on the road. And the trucks that are caught in the satellite imagery that are not moving. I think that's funny. And let's find this little airport. We're going to come out here to the south so we can lose some altitude. And then we'll land. Do we have any other visual reference? I mean, the road goes parallel to it, I guess. No, that might be a river, actually. Well, that's a river for sure. Can't tell if that's a road or a river. It has to be a road because there's the road going into the airport. Okay, so it's along a road. I don't think it's this big road. Not sure. Is there a road that goes north? Yeah, there is. There's a road that goes north. So maybe the airport is right here. There it is. Because there's the river, there's the road, there's the airport. Swell. We just have to see if we have enough space to descend and slow down, or else we'll just do a right traffic pattern if we need to. But you know me, no go round turtle. Nope. Our speed is pretty slow though, so we should be good because we need to level off, which will bleed off speed. Keep the airport in our sights. I think I see it. I'm confident that's the airport, so that's what we'll aim for. Our final looks outside. cool looking little hills there. And time to focus on landing this thing. And here's our tiny town right in front of us. And now the tiny town is just below us. First set of flaps. Let's see if we can have a decent landing. We have hundreds of great landings under our belt, but the last 15, 16 landings have all been terrible. I'm blaming it on my broken toe, but that excuse only goes so far. Second set of flaps. I want to check out this road as we go over it, even though I really should be focusing on landing the airplane. Look what happens. See, 1 second or so outside the window and we're off, and our speed was all screwed up. So let's do it again. I won't look the other way though. Yes, I will, because it doesn't like to be below the train. Oh, and there's shadow too. Alrighty, let's land an airplane. Focus, focus. Let's see if stall is before the red tape. Let's not hit the power lines. I don't think it's a collision in this sim, but you still want to be realistic. Let's come over the power lines. We do not need to land at the tip of the runway. We have plenty of space to land. So let's just ride this out and not ride the stall horn on this one, because you don't know where the stall horn is yet. That G36 in the previous bush trip, though, we were stalling 15 knots above the tape. So, all right, here we go. Ride it out. Boom. And nose wheel down gently. We did not bounce. That was the nose wheel hopping up because I pulled back on the yoke to not smash the nose wheel. So I promise we didn't bounce. All right, cool. That was a very, very, very short landing, which is fine. That's what we like to do, even though it was unnecessary. Not terrible. If we were landing in a mountain on a dirt strip, that would have been fantastic. But we weren't. We were landing on a nice long paved runway, so it could have been a little smoother. But you know what? It was still fine. So anyway, leg 3, I think that was. Let's move right on to leg 4. And it leaves off right where we left off. So flaps up, bring down into 1, come down here, repair and refuel. And let's zoom out a little bit, like usual. Here we don't need to be zoomed in that much. We do want to see where we're going. Let's go like that. Let's come over here, get the timer back on. And does it say Lima 61? I thought that, okay, let's say, like, it's not right there, is it? You think what altitude is this? Death Valley. Alright, cool. So what elevation are we at? We're at 1,000 above sea level. I have the hiccups. Let's go, gosh, do you think 3,000? Let's go 4,000 on this one. Flight director, a heading bug, a vertical speed. Let's go 1,300 feet per minute just because we can, I think. There we go. Okie dokie. We have plenty of runway because I stopped in like 20 feet. Look at this. Look at that. We touched down like right here. Bam. Stopped on a dime. Okay. That's fine. I'm pretending I'm in the mountains. All right, here we go. Silver Lake. Just north of Baker Airport lies the dry Silver Lake. And right after that is Silurian Lake. Smaller than Silver Lake, this dry lake bed lies just to the south of Death Valley. So we'll clump those together, I think. I think with all these is one sightseeing run. So Ibex Dunes. Located at the southern end of Death Valley, the Ibex Dunes are some of the most remote sand dunes in the United States. So I will take care of navigation. You just get to sightsee. So 325 for starters for just a minute and a half. So 325 is literally straight out because 326, 325. There we go. Then after that, I'll change it to 336 and then 304. And then we'll come back here together for the final lake and to land. Very simple. Here we go. Parking brake a few times. We have 1 set of flaps down and let's go. And parking brake is off. Okay, good. Alrighty. Let's see. We have plenty of space, so no problem. Hopefully the fire truck gets out of the way. And we're up, I think. There we go. Brake to stop the wheels. A little bit of speed here. Flaps coming in. What are our 336, which is more to the right and then north again. Okay, so I don't think we have to worry about this terrain at all. I'm pretty sure we're good on that. Let's come over here. We'll do autopilot right away because we can. Why not? Why not? Yeah, we're just going to follow this valley. That terrain is way up there. We're not going up there. Zoom this out one bit here, though. Our airport won't be in view zoomed out this far, I don't think. That might be it there, but I really doubt it. There's the ocean there. Alright, let's zoom back in a little bit. Alright, cool. That is all there's to it. I will get us out of the red here once we've reached altitude. Otherwise, a minute out, I didn't start the timer. But I'll change us to 3:45 in just a moment, so you enjoy the sightseeing, and I'll see you when it's time to get to the last lake. So you're looking for 3 lakes, right? You're looking for 1 lake, 2 lake, and then some dunes at the start of Death Valley. Okay, see you in a little bit. So I don't think we're quite there yet, but we have a bit of a problem. The timer went back to 0 on its own, and now it doesn't work no matter what I do. I've closed it, opened it, tried starting it over and over, and like it won't even respond to anything. So let's see if it's good. Oh, now it might work. There we go. Okay, well, whatever. I guess I can restart it for the next thing. So we're only... Where are we on the thing? So we're only here, so we have to be close to turning back to 304. We have to be. And it was weird. The timer went up to like 10 seconds, and then I left it. Came back and was solid, so I don't know what happened there, but we can start it now that it's flashing. There we go. So the last bit here to Death Valley, 4.5 minutes out or so. I don't know if we turn too soon. I don't know if we turn too late. But I do know that that train is much higher than we are. If we're going that far, though. Because look, we're in this valley, right? And the train ahead of us is where? Hang on, let's look at this here. See, I don't see... Really? Is that yellow stuff that high? I mean, if we stay in the valley, we're okay, right? 'Cause this is 4 minutes out. And then 15 degrees for 3 minutes. Follow State Route 127, which won't go above the mountains. And then right after that is the airport. So I'm going to keep my altitude the same. And we're just going to use the heading bug to navigate around the mountains and hills. And we'll follow this highway. Unless this is the highway we're supposed to follow here. And we're supposed to go up into here. Because it did say follow State Route 127, and I just see a river here. So maybe that's the way we're supposed to go, and I'm just off because my timer wasn't working. But of course we're not going to get any airports popping in either. So let's should we go 15 degrees now? Maybe we're ahead of schedule. Let's do 15 degrees now and follow that highway, and if we don't see the airport pop in soon, we'll make adjustments. Let's restart this then. And look for an airport right up here, I guess. Right? No, because that's steeper than the highway. See, that's higher than, we're going steeper than the highway. Well, not really, because we might be going up in here, right? This is very interesting. What are we looking for? I don't remember. It's like Lima 61. I don't know. With that timer not working for a big chunk of it, that was not good. I don't know. We'll figure it out. In the meantime, let's climb a little bit till we figure this out. Let's go to 6,000 for now. Vertical speed. Let's go pretty steeply because we're coming up on some terrain. I'll figure out what's going on, and I will use the GPS with the mouse. Find your airport, and I'll see you in a moment. Wish me luck. I'm going to need all luck I can get here. Well, look at that. Luck is not needed. I zoomed in, and there it is. And we're going the right way. So we're going to follow this right up into the airport. Wow, sometimes I know what I'm doing, and it's not quite this far out because that is beyond, right? That is, yeah, those hills there are there. So we're going to go in this valley here, looks like. Right before them. There we go. Pretty straightforward. That should be center. Okie dokie. Very easy. I don't know why I say that every video. Like, why do I doubt myself when I actually do know what I'm doing sometimes, or most of the time? All right, let's put this away. We don't need the timer now that we've got a visual. And the airport reference image is paved between a highway and a little town before these mountains. So shouldn't be too difficult to spot. I will navigate us through using the heading bug. And we'll keep this terrain, or this altitude for now. I'll come down 1,000 feet once we get over here. And I'll see you in a moment. Enjoy. Alright, that's coming up really quickly, so we better descend and figure out what we're doing here, because I don't see anything in front of us except hills. Unless it's right here, or right there. Oh, it could be in there. I was like gazing out in the distance, and gazing out the window, and enjoying the scenery so much that I wasn't really thinking about altitude. Oh, they got cars even from this height. Cool. Okie dokie. Well, we're gonna have to circle the land, I'm sure, because it's right in here somewhere. Oh, there it is, right there. Right at the mouse. Okay. I don't think we're gonna make that. Let me get comfortable in my chair here, move my microphone since I don't have a pop filter to get out of the way. Alright. Well, we could make it. We could make that. Let's see. Many views we can enjoy besides that big bump right there. That's kind of cool. Looking out the window is so dangerous when you're trying to land a plane. Look at the dry rivers. Wow. Their shadows cool. Alright. Southern tip of Death Valley. North of Grimshaw Lake. Okie dokie. I don't know. We might make this without having to spiral down. I could slip it. It's been a while since we've flipped it. Flaps are up, so let's go for it. Because of my broken toe, let's do right rudder and left aileron. I usually go to the right because of my broken toe. We're gonna go to the left. See, when you slip it, you descend very quickly, and we're not gaining any speed. In fact, we're losing speed, which is cool, but I don't know, man. Are we gonna make this? We could. We're going kind of fast. Our altitude is great, but we're going kind of fast. Let's see what happens when I get flaps deployed here. We'll do first set of flaps.
500.
And come out of the slip. Oof. Oh man, we're hot dogging this one. Do not try this at home. Full flap. Will that slow us down enough? I feel like we're going really fast, but we're actually not going all that fast, are we? Because we're going to level off to clear the trees. That'll bleed off a ton of speed. This might work. Do not hit that tree, please. Do not hit any of the trees, please. There we go. Yeah, this will work. Let's just coast right in. Oh, not a good time to stall. Did you see that? Oh. And let's do reversers because we can. I'm totally blaming that on the sim. Did you see what happened? At the most critical time, the sim stalled for like a second and a half and it threw me off. Oh, that was bad. Let's get in the middle of the runway here and stop so it'll save us. Save icon, please. Where are you? Where's the save icon? There it goes. Jeez. Okay, that I'm completely blaming on the sim. Totally blaming on the sim. Alright, that was leg 4. Let's do leg 5 in this video and keep on going here. Alright, come down here, repair and refuel, and we will definitely have to taxi before we can take off. We do not have enough runway to take off out of here. We're at about 1,500 feet now. Does this say anything about elevation here? I don't see. Well, gain altitude, 11,000 feet is the peak, but that doesn't mean we're going to go over the peak. We can always go around it, but we don't know what elevation is around it. Here we go. The airport is 210 feet below sea level. But we got some hills in between. 282 feet below sea level. But we have a mountain peak. Have to make sure that barometer is set correctly. Let's see, what direction is that heading at? It's gonna go west, west, west. So we're gonna go out this way. So we're gonna go around through here. We might fly through here, or we might go over it. So let's not worry too much about our elevation at the moment. Let's just go up to 6,000 so we can climb if we need to, and then we'll come down to land because we're going to land below sea level. And a lot of this that we're going to is below sea level. It's just that particular peak, which will go around and not over. So we'll start with that. That's all I'm trying to say. All right, let's go up 1,100 feet per minute because we can. There we go. Compass doesn't drift, Java doesn't drift, barometer is set, get the timer up, and make sure it's flashing. There we go. Oh, see, it bugs out sometimes. So it wasn't my imagination that it wasn't working before. There we go. That is ready to go. Alright, first set of flaps down. Let's read about where we're going, what we're doing. Amargosa River. After launching from Shoshone Airport, fly north-southwest over the Ibex Hills into southern Death Valley and the Amargosa River, which is dry most of the time. So 283 degrees, or 238 degrees, which is this way, 238 for 5 or 6 minutes, I think it said. So let's go like, whoops, this, there we go, 238. 5.5 minutes. Let's take our taxi view and let's taxi to the end. Come on. There we go. Parking brake. Sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes it's engaged, sometimes it isn't. We'll taxi here and then turn around. And see where we're going. Hopefully the next landing will be better with the broken toe. You wouldn't think a broken toe would affect your landing that much, but when you're on the rudders to compensate for like slight crosswind, blah blah blah, getting over trees and diving down and all that stuff, and then just dealing with the pain, it makes landing difficult. Those are my excuses. Except when the sim stalls. That was terrible. And again, I don't know why it does that. It started too well. By the time you watch this, you probably had another sim update at least. And so at the time of this recording, 2 updates ago, it introduced these stalls for like a second and a half every once in a while. I've never had that before until 2 updates ago. So I don't know what happened. Driver's up to date. My computer's been restarted. So, I don't know, it's weird. It's frustrating, but that's just how it is, I guess. We're at the mercy of the sim. Alright, let's make a U-turn here without hitting that object. So let's go. We're gonna make it. We better make it. Here we go. There's no real turnaround, but that's okay. And we will do a turn and burn GA style as soon as we get around this. I do want to make sure we're back on the runway before we punch it though, so it doesn't register as a crash. I don't think it would, but I don't want to chance it. Are you going to go? There we go. I've got almost full throttle. There we go. Wow, that took some time to engage. We're going to do turn and burn starting right now because I don't know how long this runway is. I'm sure it's plenty long, but there we go. Alright, I can right rudder. I can't left rudder. My toe hurts too much. So, whoopsie, there's another little stall. Don't know why it's doing that. I have not checked the forums to see if it's happening to anybody else. I assume it is. It's not my computer. It's not a Windows update. It's something that happened in the sim. So anywho, let's get the timer going. I think it said 4.5 minutes or something. It said 5.5 minutes to the hills, which I see off to the right. Alright, here we go. We're going to go over the Ibex Hills and then the river. Should we engage autopilot? Not quite yet. Let's just keep on ourselves here. Make sure we clear the train before we turn that direction, though. And there's the river or the dry lake that we crossed over. Tip of Death Valley. I think we can go over the hills now. Yeah. Alrighty, we are good on that, so let's engage autopilot while we're in the middle of a climb and a turn. Kind of funny, but we can do it. Super smooth, that's all that matters. And away we go. So 5 minutes out or so, we will make our next maneuver. 5 minutes out is going to put us over that next range, which is right here. I think we'll make it at 6,000 feet, or should I go 7? Let's go 7, and I'll leave it at that. And then if I have to take over and fly manually for a little bit, I will. So you enjoy the sights while I navigate and try not to crash. I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, we're over the hills and we're about to be ready to make our turn here. Hopefully we are on the right track after our departure. Had to go a little bit south to get over the hills, but we're going to stay here at 7,000 feet. I think it's good for now until we figure out what we're doing. So here we go, 290 degrees, turn northwest and visit Shoreline Butte, an ancient cinder cone with terraces cut into it from the waves from Lake Manly, which inundated Death Valley during the Pleistocene epoch, most recent ice age. Okay, here we go, 290 degrees. I assume it's going to put us down the valley, which is why we didn't need to go quite this high, but I was nervous. So 290 degrees, we're going to go down that valley, I assume, for the rest of the leg, I would think. Like I said, we're not going to go up 11,000 feet to that peak of the mountain, but we're going to go around it. Yeah, so just a minute and a half, so not much sightseeing to be had in a minute and a half, but we'll go a minute anyway. So we're gonna go around here. Yeah, we're below that train, and we're gonna stay this way. So I did not realize the mountains were this high in this part of Death Valley, to be honest. I mean, I know what Death Valley is and everything, but I didn't realize the train was like this. So this is pretty cool, and this is climbing, even though it's a valley, and even though we're getting below sea level. So what color's below sea level on here? Blue, green. Is that why it's like that? I don't know, but let's read about the next thing here. Gold Hill continued northwest toward the Panamint Mountains, which form the western wall of Death Valley, and begin gaining altitude and pass over Gold Hill, site of an abandoned mine. I wish it told us the altitude of Gold Hill. How far out is that? 4 minutes, and then that's pretty much straight for 4 minutes. So that, yeah, right here, look at, see this? This is where we're headed. So 4 minutes that way, and then we're gonna go north that way, and then north again in the canyon. And then still back to north again. So I'm just wondering if I have us fly alongside of this, if we will lose track. Because I think it wants us to go over this down into this canyon. So I think what we're gonna do, I was thinking we would just fly around it, like here. I think that's what we're gonna do. So let's take our heading bug and let's just fly around it, just because we can. Mainly because I don't want to climb, because I want to stay at this cool altitude. It's a really good altitude for sightseeing. So we're going to go around the mountain, and we're back in the canyon. We will rejoin and read about the next thing, right? Yeah, because Gold Hill, that's where we're headed right now. I already read about it. And then Telescope Peak. So when I get us around the hill, we will fly towards this highest peak, and then we'll rejoin together. So some sightseeing while I get us over this mountain range thing, and I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, it's a tight fit, but we're going for it. We are going to go for it and see what happens here. Maybe I'll climb a little bit just to be somewhat reasonable and realistic. But, yeah, we'll see here. Part of me is just having a little bit of fun. The other part of me is... Whoops. We don't want to stall. The other part of me just wants to stay nice and low and below the train level, right? Well, so we're gonna go here, and then Telescope Peak, I think, is like this point right here, I think. I mean, looking at the map, there's some spots up here, if I zoom out, that are darker. But it did say we're at the western edge of the national park, and Telescope Peak is the highest point in the national park. It doesn't say it's the national or the highest peak in the land, right? Just the park. So we're going to climb over this, and then Telescope Peak, and then I'm sure we're still quite a ways from that, because we're taking a little bit of a detour, and then after that we're looking for Hanapa Canyon. Turn east-northeast, follow the canyon, a deep chasm that opens to Death Valley over 2 vertical miles beneath Telescope Peak. This location is an exceptional view of Death Valley, with a technically geologic feature called a Caravan, which sinks relative to the mountains on its boundaries through tectonic activity. So anyway, we're just going to head up this way. I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, we're gonna make a turn to the north. There's Telescope Peak right there. And, whoops, I went too much. Because of course I did. Let's go back. No, quickly, back. I might have to just take over by hand here. Autopilot is very literal. It does exactly what you tell it to do. So if you tell it to do the wrong thing, it will do the right thing, but the wrong thing. You know what I mean? So I think we got off. I think, now that I look at the timing, there's Telescope Peak. I think we're supposed to be on this side. I don't think we were supposed to cross the mountain. Oh, turtle. Anyway, there's Telescope Peak right there. So we have a ways to go to get to the canyon because I think we're on the wrong side. I think this is the canyon because it says it goes down into below sea level, which is this color because I've never seen this color before. So we're going to fly out here, fly back there into the canyon, and then, so that's the canyon. We were there already. Sea level, there's a mark where you go over sea level, and then it goes below sea level, the basin. So we're just going to fly along here, then there's the basin, the lowest point, California, 282 feet below sea level. This is one of the hottest places in the world. The temperature is topping 100 degrees regularly. Yep, it also gets very cold too, I believe. I believe it's like the hottest and coldest, like at the same time. Not literally the coldest, like Antarctica or Ely, Minnesota, but it gets very cold as well. Like you freeze at night, you can freeze to death at night, dehydrate during the day. So we're at 8,000 feet, we're going to stay there, we're going to fly along this mountain ridge for a while to get back to where we're supposed to be, because I was a little eager, and we're supposed to be right here. So anyway, we're headed for this area, basically. That's where we're headed, we're just going to get there a different way. So after Badwater Basin, we'll look for Artist Palette from the basin, fly north, follow the base of the mountains to the Artist Palette multicolored bandland formation created with oxidizing minerals and landscape. And then after that is Furnace Creek Airport with a little bit of green stuff around. There we go. So I will find the airport, Lima 06, and we'll look at the basin and fly through the airport. So we're going to get some sightseeing without my voice. Once we get to the basin, I'll talk again just to point it out, and then we will once again be landing soon. But enjoy the trip along the way. See you in a little bit. Alright, we're going to go through this valley and then turn back to the right a little bit because there is our airport. It's been spotted finally. I am so way off where we're supposed to be. We were supposed to be on the other side, but that's okay. We still saw Telescope Peak and we're still looking at the basin. We're just going to come at it from a different side. We'll come at it from the west instead of the south. We just have to get around all of this and then around all of that. So it'll be a while. We're probably quadrupling the length of this trip. Or whatever. Doesn't matter. It's still gorgeous. Still enjoying what we're seeing. Alright, let's navigate through here and see what this train looks like. Nope, maybe not quite that much. Because I don't want to climb. I want to stay where we are. Come back. Come back, you goofball. Whoa, not like that though. Anywho, I just want to give you a quick update on the mess I've created. It probably doesn't look so bad through editing, but I totally blew this. So if you're following along, don't do what I did. Although I don't think many people... Well, yeah, I guess I do get quite a few comments that people watch my bush trips for help. In the beginning, people like really watched everything I was doing to learn how to do them. But now people are just watching mostly for entertainment, but I do get a fair amount of comments of people saying that watching my trip did help them. So I'm confused about what. Hang on, what are we looking at? We're looking at some terrain versus no terrain. Is the airport like right there? It could be. what am I looking at versus what is on this GPS? The GPS is telling me to turn, but I can't. So if I go around all this, what is this on here? Oh, that's that. Oh, is it? Is it now? Yeah, that is what we're looking at. So if I turn more, can I get around it? No, it's still hilly. What? I don't know. I'm going to navigate around the terrain and not crash into something. And I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, we went around the mountain and we're going to come down now. It's way below sea level, so be curious to see what it looks like on the whatchamacallit machine on the altimeter. Whoops, let's go back a little bit. Just a little bit. That was a little aggressive. Let's start coming down now. We're below sea level. Let's go down to... We're going to go below sea level. Let's go down to 1,500 feet. That'll put us 2,000 feet above it. And then we'll... just enjoy what this looks like. 800 feet per minute. Let's bring back throttles a little bit so we don't overspeed and blow the engine, because then we have to redo the leg, which at this point it probably would have been faster just to redo the leg because I think we've tripled the time. We'll have to see what happens when we land, how long it's actually taken us. But anyway, somewhere in this valley, there's the basin we're supposed to see from the south. We're just going to see from the north. Somewhere in the valley, here's the airport. We just need, there it is right there, I think. Just have to keep an eye on the prize here and land. So if I need more time to come down, I will bring back throttles and go slower horizontally. That will buy us more time vertically. In fact, let's do that. Anyway, we were supposed to come down here, check out Telescope Peak right there, and check out the basement. Just come down, because remember my very, very, very first thought was we're going to come down this valley and land, and that's exactly what we were supposed to do. Instead, for some stupid reason, I thought we were going to come around. So yeah, we were supposed to land like an hour ago. Of course, I've cut all that out, so again, for you it seems smooth, but if this were a live stream or something, you'd see how crazy this actually is. But yeah, my original instinct said come down here and land, but I don't know. So yet again, I should have trusted myself, and we would have done the right thing. Anywho, let's look for this airport and let's descend and let's you know, have a good end of this video here. It'll be a little bit yet, but it should be fun. See you in a little bit. And that's all you get. We're gonna take over here by hand, get comfortable in the chair, and land an airplane. So here we go. There's airport right there. Yep. So we're actually gonna fly around it since we have to come down so much, and we'll land from the other side. So let's just get a little bit closer, and then we'll set the heading bug so we know runway heading, and then we will land. In the meantime, final views outside. Well below terrain, there's a cool little town there, which we'll probably hear about in the next leg, which will be in the next video. But anywho, leg 5 about to conclude. I can't remember how many legs are in this. 13, something like that maybe. So we're probably like 46% done or something, but totally worried about that. I'm just keeping an eye on the prize while I talk. So we're about runway heading or so, so let's set heading bug. Like so. And then we know we want to land opposite that. 3,000 feet above sea level, but we're landing below sea level, I believe. And then as far as the stall horn goes, we haven't hit the stall horn yet, so we can probably ride this down to the red line on the tape, unlike the previous airplane where it stalled way ahead of time. Okie dokie, I'm just enjoying the view. It's pretty cool around here. Let's go outside to the HUD, circle view, I guess. And take a look. I'm sure we'll see that area in the next video. So stick with us by liking and subscribing so you know when the next video will drop. But in the meantime, let's land and conclude the video we're currently recording. Alright, runway is about at the pillars, so let's make turn on to base while we still descend. Keep an eye on our altimeter for this one very carefully. And keep an eye on that heading bug. Let's do a standard return step on the ball. See that little mark under the triangle? You want to keep that centered with the triangle. First set of flaps, and that should be a good base. Let's look out the window, and there's your runway. Can't see the things behind the pillar. I lost it. What? How's that possible? No, he didn't. It's right there. It's right there. Just got lost with the little leaves or whatever, the trees, but there it is. Good. Okay, cool. Alright, keep an eye on the speed. Why is our view weird? I wish we had peripheral vision. I do want to try this in VR. I think that'd be cool. But it'd be cool for me. I don't think it'd be cool for you. I don't think it matters much if you're watching it instead of experiencing it, but whatever. Alright, we'll do full flap in a second here. Where are you, runway?
500.
There you are. Full flap. Looking at the town. And 200 feet above sea level, but I believe we're going below sea level. That's why she called out 500. Because we're going to be below sea level. So let's just not hit these houses. And we'll have a good landing, hopefully. It's been a long time since we've landed appropriately. This plane does sit higher than it looks, so it's easy to touch the ground sooner than you think. Let's have a good landing here. And let's not hit stall this far away. Let's get a little bit more speed. So we're going to nose down and get more speed. Use the throttle so we don't descend. Keep the lines between your legs. That'll keep you centered like usual. We do not need to slam down at the end of the runway. This thing will stop in plenty of time. Aim just past those numbers there. There we go. Throttle's back. Round it out a little bit. Let ground effects soften our blow. And down we go. And bam. Perfect. Nose wheel down gently. Sorry, my left broken toe is keeping it difficult to use rudders, brakes, and reversers. My excuse again is my broken toe. Did not let me rudder left. Alright, it's supposed to be 23 minutes. How long did this leg really take? Oh, it only took double. Alrighty, that's it for this video. We'll do 2 more legs on the next video, so like, subscribe when you know when it drops. I'll see you then.